Anyone's guess. George?
Okay, James, thanks very much. Let's go to Robin.
Okay, George, now to a dramatic transformation for Inside Edition host Deborah Norville, one of the longest and beloved running anchors on TV, shedding 30 pounds after a doctor told her she needed to make a change. She's going to join us live in just a moment, but first, ABC's Janai Norman has a look at Deborah's journey.
For over 30 years, Deborah Norville has been front and center on our TV screens.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us.
And a best-selling author and businesswoman who's at the top of her game professionally. But for the past 10 years, she's been dealing privately with a personal struggle behind the scenes. Feeling deeply self-conscious and unhappy with her body, a simple doctor's visit became the wake-up call she needed. Now she hopes her story inspires others to make the change they need. For Good Morning America, Janai Norman, ABC News, New York.
Please welcome Deborah Norville.
Thank you.
Said, it wasn't about losing weight.
No.
It was about getting healthy, and it was a wake-up call from your doctor?
Yeah, I didn't like the number on the scale, but what the doctor didn't like was the number when he took my blood pressure. And on my dad's side, I have a very strong family history of cardiology problems, and he said, you got to do something. So they put me on medication for that. But we all know you need to lose the weight, too, if you're going to really feel good and be healthy. And I said, so what do I do? And he said, cut out sugar. That simple.
Sugar.
Yep. You've seen me on the machines. Once a year when I get on the machine, we're both at the Oscars.
Right.
The same gym.
Right.
That's the only time I exercise. I've done this without exercise. I've done this by changing the way I eat.
And just something as simple as changing your diet has done something like that for you. Another thing that when reading the articles, the People magazine article, I was surprised to hear that in like a lot of women we go through, you didn't feel good about yourself. And people from the outside looking go, you're beautiful. Why did you feel that way?
Thank you. And you know, people, we see ourselves differently than the rest of the world does. And I didn't like the way I looked going into a room. I didn't like the view people were getting when I walked out of the room. And when you don't feel good about yourself, it colors everything about your life. It affects your relationships. It affects your zest. It affects your ability to jump out of bed as opposed to roll out. And it's funny, since I've lost all this weight, I actually got a note the other day from one of my colleagues at work, and he said, I have noticed something different. I have noticed a joy on the air. I do sense something different about you, and it's simply, I like me better. I like me better because I feel healthy.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, you lost 30 pounds in 4 months simply cutting out sugar. That's not an easy thing to do.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. And it's sugar in all forms. I speak in bumper stickers for my family because I lose their attention after about 5 words. And my new thing is, if it ends in ose, it's gross. So you gotta, ends in ose, it's gross. Y'all can remember that, right? You can remember that. Because if you look at the labels, which is the first thing you do, if it ends in OSE, fructose, sucrose, glucose, those are all sugar-based. And so my doctor recommended that I try to get rid of sugar in all forms. So that means no booze. So wine and your favorite libation has sugar in it. It means most breads and things like that, because sugar is a part of the bread baking process.
I'm glad you're talking about that, because most people think it means, oh, just don't put extra sugar on what you're eating, but it's in what we're eating and drinking.
It's in what you're eating, and it also means no added sweeteners. So you may think, oh, well, I'm using the little packets, or I'm using agave. You can't do that either. So when you start reading the labels, you'll find sugars in places you didn't expect it. The second thing, when I looked at the label on my half and half for my coffee, was corn syrup. I'm like, So find one that doesn't have it. Find the mustard that doesn't have sugar in it. But the biggest thing I've done is I've changed the way I eat in terms of, it's a lot of fresh roasted vegetables. It's super easy. I come home at night, I open, turn on the oven, 425 degrees, cut up the vegetables, put a little olive oil on it, and just bake them.
Turmeric, too.
Turmeric, cumin, curry powder. My hair usually smells, but that's okay.
I know. And what is the doctor telling you now?
Well, it's very interesting. I went to my doctor and I said, I wanted to have my blood done to see if my numbers were better, and they are.
Good.
Blood pressure's under control. It's all good. I said, I don't want her to touch me. I don't want her to talk to me. I just want her to look at me. And she looked at me. She said, don't lose any more weight. No one has ever said that to me, Robin.
Oh my goodness, and hearing something like that. But I'm glad that the numbers are great.
Yeah.
And you know, now it's a holiday season, so you have any tips for people? Because
I do.
You know, after Thanksgiving and the holidays.
Yeah, you know, and I had fun at Thanksgiving. We did the turkey and the sides and everything. It was great, and I ate my pecan pie because that's the holidays. But don't have a holiday every day. When you go to these parties, have a glass of sparkling water and put limes in it, because it'll look like you have a cocktail. They don't know that you don't, and you can feel really good about yourself. And when you go to the guys, you know, they've got the spread of things, somebody's always going to have carrot sticks. Go for the carrot stick.
Okay. Well, Deborah, thank you.
Thank you.
So very happy
Thank you so much.
You do have the guts.
You know what? Anybody can do it.
Yeah,
if I can, they can.
All right, let's go over to Rob now.
All right,
Rob?
nice work, Deborah. You're looking fantastic.